Welcome to the live stream, everyone. So recently, I received the FSSP newsletter in the mail, and recently they sent a survey in the newsletter. And so I thought, well, this is really cool. I'm going to share it with everyone. I kind of felt like I had this exclusive information, and it turns out that the FSSP has not only the survey results on their website, but they also have the extended version of the survey. So I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to show you that right now. So let's see. That's going to be better. Okay, let's get started. The survey results. So they had 4,870, almost 5,000 responses. Now this is, I'm going to guess that this is families. And so for every one person responding, it could be a father or a mother who's responding and they have 8 kids. So we could be looking at quite a few more people than 5,000, but keep that in mind as we proceed here. So first, I am male, female. Okay, so it looks like more men responded than women. And if you notice, excuse me, if you'll notice, the NAs appear quite a bit throughout the survey. And that would probably be people who clicked on the survey and submitted it without answering all the questions. That's really what that means. Select the option that best describes you. C, married with children, is the largest response, but you can see we have a distribution. Married with adult children, there are quite a few. C, okay. So there are quite a few people in D. Selection D, 1,116, married with adult children. So that means that this is applicable to all ages, right? Makes sense. It's not just a young people thing like the hippie masses in the 1970s. I've attended Latin Mass for less than a year. I don't like this. I don't like the options that they gave. I wish they had like 1 to 2 years and then 3 to 5 so that you could break down this largest group here. Barely, because D is the second largest group, 33%, but the largest percentage is B, 1 to 5 years that they've attended Latin Mass. So 33.6% are new, or relatively new, and then A, less than 1 year. So if you combine A and B, that makes almost 50%. Not quite, but close to 50% are relatively new traditional Catholics. And I will say, of the almost 5,000 responses, that's a pretty good indication of your distribution. Now, the people are going to respond to the survey who want to respond to the survey, so you can factor that in as well. But it seems like almost 5,000 responses are a pretty solid basis for this survey. In a given month, I and my family attend a TLM. So A is daily, B is once on Sunday and during the week, C is weekly on Sunday, that's almost half, and then D is once a month. So as you can see, we have about, 85% or so who attend at least once a week, the Latin Mass, so that's great. And then pretty much the rest attend once a month. In a given month, I and my family attend the Novus Ordo. D is not at all, and it's well over half. And C is weekly on Sunday. B is once or twice a month. A is daily. Okay, so it's kind of surprising, actually. I thought there'd be a lot less people attending the Novus Ordo. Not at all is 57%, but then the rest do attend, so that's interesting. My local bishop is supportive of my TLM community. A kind of they're kind of the people that aren't really sure, I guess. Uh, D, what is it? Somewhat agree, and E is strongly agree. So let's do our math here. That's close to 50% that say that the bishop is not supportive of the TLM community. And if you add A, which says neither agree nor disagree, it I guess you could add what B and C, strongly disagree, somewhat disagree. You'll get 26%. So about a quarter say that their bishop is supportive of the Latin Mass, and the rest are either unsure or they think that their bishop is opposed to their Latin Mass community. So that's pretty disappointing. Someone attending their first TLM would feel welcome in my community. E is strongly agree, 41%. D is somewhat agree. So if you add what, 35 plus 42, 70, what was it, 35 plus 42. Actually have a math minor in college, but these percentages, they're catching me. Mental math, that's a pretty helpful trait to have. Mental math is a pretty helpful ability to have, and I have it, just doesn't come quick all the time. So 35 plus 42, that's 77. Shouldn't be hard to calculate anyway. 77% say that someone would feel welcome attending their Latin Mass community. Really? Because if I read the Jesuit news publications, they would say, oh, this is such a rigid community. Everyone feels so unwelcome. They're so hateful and I don't know. They're not inclusive of new people. They're so judgmental. That's a word that gets thrown around quite a bit. So I don't know. Reading the survey, it would say something different. And then A is neither agree nor disagree. That's almost the entire percentage. That's almost 100%. Basically, like if it's a neutral feel. Now, what about the Novus Ordo? What about their local Novus Ordo? What would they say? Would the results be about the same as this? Okay. A visitor. So what is this? Someone attending their first Latin Mass would feel welcome. A visitor to my community would feel welcome. Okay, is this? I mean, how is this not the exact same percentages? Because it seems like that's the same question. What does a visitor mean? Someone out of state, another Latin Mass person? Because those results should be higher. 35, 46. Yeah, so there's more people say strongly agree on this one. Okay, yeah, sure. My children participate in parish groups as often as possible. Okay, now we're getting into like parish life. So A, overwhelmingly, A is neither agree nor disagree. So everyone gives a neutral response. Not everyone. Over half gave a neutral response. I don't know what that. I'm actually not sure how to react to that. Okay. Thanks for tuning into the live stream, everyone. Leave me your comments on what you think on any of these things. I'll check back on comments periodically. What do you guys think about this? My children participate in parish groups as often as possible. What I think is that people, we'll get into the distance that they have to travel in a little bit on this survey. My thought whenever I first saw this was that they live far enough away that they don't participate in the parish life very often. A lot of people don't. But then as I was reading the rest of the survey results, I thought, well, maybe the parish just doesn't offer a lot of parish activities for children, which is surprising because I thought FSSP parishes offered catechism classes, but then when do they offer them? Do they offer them on Sunday mornings? I'm not really sure. D is somewhat agree. B is strongly agree. There's hardly anyone that strongly agreed, less than 10%. So I'm not really sure what to make of that, but I hope the FSSP is taking that into account. Or maybe the parents have NFL football to watch on Sundays. No, or maybe their kids are going to baseball. I don't know. I'm just kind of making stuff up now. I feel like my input and participation matter to my TLM community. E is strongly agree, 33%. D is somewhat agree, so that's over 50% that say strongly or somewhat agree. But then A says neither agree nor disagree, so it's kind of a neutral response. Which, if you're not heavily involved, if you're not really involved in the parish, then your input and participation isn't really going to matter. If you're just showing up on Sundays and leaving right afterwards, your input's probably not going to matter because you're not giving any input. My spouse I and my spouse participate in parish groups as often as possible. A, neither agree nor disagree. You're not going to participate in a whole lot of parish groups if you have a lot of kids. I mean, you're not going to have the time to do that, at least on if you're talking about maybe there's like a catechism class for children and there's an adult catechism class on say on Sundays before or after mass, then the adults would be inclined to participate. But if there's like a Wednesday evening Bible study, you're not going to do that if you have a bunch of kids. That's just kind of how it works. D is somewhat agree. E is strongly agree. So there's that. And how does this compare to Novus Ordos? I mean, I would say that strongly and somewhat agree would be far less, because a lot of people they don't even stay for the whole mass at some of the Novus Ordos. There was one Novus Ordo I used to attend. It was the Saturday evening one, Saturday afternoon actually, 4 p.m. People would get there 20 minutes early so they could leave right after communion. Being Catholic is one of the most important things about me and my family. The only surprising thing about this survey result is that the answers are not 100%. I'm going to assume that some of these people that didn't check strongly agree accidentally clicked the other boxes. I financially support my local diocese. No. 52%. Yes. Wow, there's a lot more people that do. Maybe some of these people are the ones that fund their parish and they realize that some of their financial support of their parish goes to their diocese as a tax. Because it does in the FSSP. The SSPX does not. That's why the bishops are so against them, I believe, in one aspect. I financially support my TLM community. 89% say yes. A says no. Okay. No judgment there. Maybe some people have financial difficulties. It's not easy. It's not easy finding a good job and saving up some money. Pray for all those who are unemployed, underemployed. It's a tough life. I financially support the apostolate that staffs my community. 53% said yes. Does not apply. All right. Yeah, I don't really understand that. Nice. Thanks for joining the live stream, Ty. You can see this survey for yourself. People are just watching me for sympathy, I think. You can just read the survey results yourself and draw your own conclusions. But if you're on the live stream, make sure to comment if you have any opinions. I and my family spend time with others in our TLM community outside of church. In our TLM community, A is rarely, B is weekly, C is monthly, D not at all. And I think that could have to do with people driving decent distances and not having that network nearby. I know that's the case in a lot of Latin Mass communities. It's like everyone converges. So some people come from the east, some from the west, some from the north, some from south, northwest, southwest. You get the idea. Everyone comes from all kinds of different places and converges on the Latin Mass. And if you drive half an hour from the north and someone drives half an hour from the south, that means that they're an hour away from you. And so you're not going to get together with them very often. Just how it works, unfortunately. I live farther than I would like from my TLM community. A is neither agree nor disagree. B is strongly disagree. C is somewhat disagree. So, okay, B and C are the people that have access to the Mass pretty much on demand. D is somewhat agree, and E is strongly agree. So it looks like we have, excuse me, about 60% who live farther away from the Latin Mass community than they would like, and A is kind of like, well, not so sure. I would say only B and C. Let's see. B might live right near the church, or at least maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, but then the rest of them, they live much farther away than they would like. When I attend the TLM, I have to drive. A is less than 1 hour, and B is over an hour, so only about 10% drive over an hour to Latin Mass. We're kind of spoiled in that regard. I mean, yeah, I have a Latin Mass. I actually have a few Latin Masses that are less than an hour away, but it's still a ways away. But I thought it would be more than 10%. But if you look at 4,800 families, that's 480 families that have to drive, that they do drive over an hour to attend their Latin Mass. That's a lot of people. I have attended my current TLM parish for C is 1 to 5 years. Again, this is not. I wish they had another category, like 1 to 2 years and then 3 to 5 years. I think they could separate those out. So B is less than 1 year, C is 1 to 5 years, so over 50% are new Catholics, or at least they're new to their current parish, which shows tremendous growth in the FSSP in terms of mass attendance. My TLM community does a good job supplementing the religious education of my children. G is NA. That's over half. So this question is kind of irrelevant, I guess. I mean, E says strongly agree, but and then A, if you could combine A with G, that's well over half, and it's kind of like, okay, there's not really a response, like a legitimate response there. Okay. I'm going to share a comment from Ty. Thanks for the live stream. I was just commenting that those diocesan numbers are heartening. Too much money is supporting non-Catholic causes through their slushes. Most of us are in mission territory now. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, this is great, you know. Open more parishes. I hope that's the case. I hope they do. We'll see. I feel included in my TLM community. E, strongly agree. There's over half. D, someone agree. A is neutral, and then the negative responses are very minuscule. Most of my friends attend the TLM either at my parish or another. Let's see. E, strongly agree. D, somewhat agree. So A, B, and C, neither agree nor disagree, strongly disagree, somewhat disagree. This more or less means that over 50% have like Novus Ordo friends, like network Novus Ordo friends, that maybe they're trying to evangelize that don't come. They don't, the Novus Ordo friends don't want to drive that far or whatever, for whatever reason, or they want to stay at their parish and try to fix it. So that's what that indicates to me. Which is, there's nothing wrong with having friends in Novus Ordo. I mean, come on, people. Plus, we can always evangelize. Oh, stop it. Okay. In the last 2 years, I and my family has attended a large-scale TLM event. The last 2 years, not even all these people have been part of the parish in the last 2 years, so the never response really shouldn't be surprising because they live far away or they're new to the parish or whatever. That's not surprising. I invite other Catholics outside my TLM community to other events. This comes in, so what I see here is it's really a method of how you evangelize. So I know a lot of people that are really excited about the Latin Mass, but I think it can get into nagging, and then people kind of they put up a barrier if you nag them too much. So there's kind of a tactic to it. You have to be really thoughtful in how you try to evangelize. I invite other Catholics. So C is sometimes, and that's probably the typical response. You know, you wait for the right time. B is often, so sometimes or often, and very often. That takes up the majority. Almost over 75% of people invite some friends, other Catholics, at least periodically, to the Latin Mass or other events. That's good. I mean, they're good at attempting to evangelize, and hopefully we can be effective. And that's it. That's it for the survey. Let's see. Are there any comments? All right. I think this is it. So I have the link. Check out the link. Check out the link in the description if you want to go over the survey results yourself or follow along if you're watching this not on live stream. And it really does show a lot of pretty positive indicators of the Latin Mass, but we still have much work to do. There are plenty more people to evangelize, and the Latin Mass is growing despite the church shutdowns, the lockdowns, how in many dioceses we were locked out of churches for private prayer, even. But the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass was suspended. That enough is egregious, and people are looking for the truth. They're looking for solid priests. And you can find that at the Latin Mass generally. So we have a lot of work to do, but we can see the results. And really, I'm not even part of that necessarily, because I started attending the Latin Mass not even 3 years ago. So I'm not really even part of that. Other people are part of my evangelization story because other people evangelized to me, brought me into the Latin Mass. And I mean, I talk to people about it. I talk to people about the Latin Mass, and some of them have shown up, and it's pretty interesting. But Restoring the Faith channel had an interesting video you might want to look at. Can you tell me the name of that video? Thanks for commenting Living Purgatory. And I don't know. I guess different Latin Mass communities have different results, but I say build the church and people will come. You can build it in the middle of nowhere and people will show up. It might not be hundreds. People will show up, though. You look at Father Heilman, and he said, Father Heilman has a beautiful church. He said, like, even his Novus Ordo, he decided to start saying it ad orientem. And he said, slowly but surely, people started coming. And, oh, okay, so Living Purgatory, the man behind the curtain. Is this about a certain wigged individual? Let's see. Father Malachi Martin got me into the Latin right. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Father Hesse Father Gregory Hesse had something interesting to say. Yeah, yeah. I figured that's who it was, the man behind the curtain. Restoring the Faith channel. They're fighting. There's all kinds of battles going on. We're in a spiritual battle, though, and for me, I think the biggest battle is against the modernists. It really is. And I think the more we can represent the Latin Mass and the more people we can evangelize, I think that's going to, help out this world a lot, because we have our network, but there are a lot of faithful people in the world. It's not an overwhelming amount, but if you go to a Latin Mass and you talk to people, I mean, they're good people. We need more of those people. There are plenty in the Novus Ordo who are maybe demoralized or apathetic, and all it takes is attending a Latin Mass to light that spark. That's all it takes. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. We are the laity. We will not be silent.